So come on, let me interdict you. Look me up in the gallery pages, I will chase your ass for ages. This is how I earn my own wages, yeah. Looks like you have lost your shields, how about we make a deal? Hand it over, it's a steal, my dear. Your hull gets burned, baby, haven't you learned that all I'm concerned about is how much I earn? I'm in this for the credit, so you better prepare. I'll kill you outside, you know I don't even care. So come on, let me interdict you. So come on, let me interdict you. Yeah, come on, let me interdict you. You may be good at running from a fight, but I'm gonna shoot your thrusters out tonight. Here is a system where my bounty grows. It gets me so high now when your power plant blows. So come on. So come on, let me interdict you. So come on, let me interdict you. So come on, let me interdict you. Yeah, come on, let me interdict you. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, yeah. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, yeah. So come on. Come on, let me interdict you. So come on, let me interdict you.
As Proxima appears over the horizon of Eden, light floods into Studio 5 at Hutton Orbital. Two presenters are taking their places behind the desks, adjusting their microphones. They both look at their scripts as if they've never seen one before. Through the glass in the green room, pilots are taking their seats and opening the bar snacks. There is a rattling at the studio door and two familiar faces appear at the glass, making hand signals at the presenters. The broom that is wedged into the handles of the door holds fast. One of the characters on the far side of the glass can be heard, dimly through the wall.
Have it your way, but the mics are live.
Good evening, everyone, from Studio 5. This is the Pilots Federation outside broadcast team, and this week we're invading Hutton Orbital and taking over the news. I'm Dickie Landing, and with me in the studio tonight I have...
Willie Highwick. Evening, Dickie.
Evening, hello.
Now, this show might not be what you get used to, but it's what you're going to get, like it or not. We might even do it right, but there are no promises and no guarantees.
That sounds strangely familiar. On with the headlines.
Alarming ding-dong after Dawn Dunn in Wolf 359.
Lam dunk honk, a donk breaks all records.
Hutton enjoys a little Strauss.
Mysterious Pilots Federation maestro blasts off.
Brass played his repairs. Our reporter reveals all.
Right. at the pilot... hello? Sorry, I'm having someone talk my ear. No? Okay. Here at the Pilots Federation, we are receiving reports of uncivil unrest and civil disobedience in the home system of the dastardly Don Antonacci. The Don's villa at Vert's Progress, previously the seat of power for the Camorri di Lupi Trisincanova, or for those who don't talk, the Linga Mafia, Wolf 359, was repossessed this week after an investigation into tax irregularities. The system's owners, the Hutton Orbital Truckers, were awarded custody of the remaining assets in the system, whilst some very clever accountants tried to untangle the Don's well-woven wicked web of financial irregularities. Shortly afterward, a series of unfortunate accidents struck offices throughout the system, including paperwork going mysteriously missing, a series of small and clearly accidental fires localized in the rooms of the investigating team, someone leaving a horse's head in Intarius Fusion's bed, and cling film being stretched over all of the conveniences. So far, authorities have been unable to link any of these actions to the Don himself, but they're doing their best to pin it on him, along with a long list of minor misdemeanors and the funny noises coming from the pipework. The unrest has thrown Hutton's influence to an all-time low in the system, and hunting the Don has now become the highest priority. After breakfast.
Some explorers are content to spend 6 months flying to Beagle Point. Others earn their flight patch by delivering huge quantities of data to Hutton Space. But there is, however, a class of commander that crosses the line between everyday space madness and genuine insanity.
Are you okay, Willie? You sound different to how you sounded earlier.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Clearly.
Yeah, good.
There are 2 classes of galactic record. There are the heroic kind, records of feats of endurance, strength and speed. The 100-meter 0G dash, the low G long jump, the high G high jump, the over 50s under 60 kilogram powerlifting record, currently held by one progenitor Lel Wolf. Then there is the other kind, the how many Naga chili pork scratchings can you eat in a row before exploding? How many golf balls can you stuff in your mouth kind? Commander the Bradigan had a dream. Brad wanted to do something new and different, and he had an idea. The largest single exploration transaction, 1 page of data. It would take meticulous planning and preparation, and the execution would be brutal for anybody that doesn't have the patience of a saint. Fortunately, Brad is a trucker from the Team Hotbox wing. Impatience in the face of ridiculousness is their bread and butter. So having built an Explorer Anaconda, the Cassiopeia, and loading her up with potato chips and Diet Coke, the staple diet of night shift truckers, he consulted one of the greatest minds of our time, Major General Noctivegas, I do beg your pardon.
Yeah, it's just your face.
And together they formulated a plan. With the plan in place, there was only one final thing to do, a quick flight to Hutton to collect a ton of mugs. From the bubble to Colonia, and from there to the Great Annihilator, onward to Beagle Point, back to Colonia, then onward back to the bubble. 150,000 light years in 3 months. Only the juiciest system scanned, and on his return, 1 page, 1 click. 119,797,918 credits. As far as we're aware, there's been no previous attempt at this record. We wonder why. So for now, unless anybody can challenge to the contrary, we would like to congratulate Commander the Bradigan on setting a new record. That's some chunky slam dunk on the dunk exploring, Commander. Hashtag for the mug. We noticed that Universal Cartographics have been given plaudits this week for redrawing the galaxy, so that the Alliance looks a little bit less tiny. Apparently, it always looked bigger from below, so they turned everyone's maps upside down. It also makes Fargoid-infested space look a little bit further away.
A lot of text. Hand in hand with the eviction of the Don from his comfy chair, Hutton Orbitals enjoyed a little Strauss this week, of the stone-washed kind. Levi Strauss installation in Barnard's.
Oh, Dickie.
I'm sorry, I've had a couple of I've had a tipple or two.
Dear Dickie.
However, the double denim, double-breasted dinner suit has fallen under the dubious leadership of the dog and his ownership. And his followers is what I meant to say. Formerly the headquarters of the galaxy's roughest, toughest trouser tailors, a title held these days by the cargo pants of George Pantazes, Levi Strauss's final line was jeans for your jeans, tailored to your very DNA to give you the perfect leg line and complete your animal skin ankle boot and Stetson ensemble. After a scandal involving Catward Clothes Horse, Commander Sandy Samarco, defecting to a clothier, with a lot more velour and fewer crotch rivets and a trend for trousers with half the material ripped to shreds amongst youngsters, the company's fortunes fell into decline. These days, the Orbital is part of the Hutton's refinery operation, a far cry from the shrink-fit denim and the Dockers brand cargo pants, strangely appropriate given that it's Barnard. I can never say that correctly, I do apologise to you.
Dickie, never mind.
I mean, whatever you
My
want.
name's Willie.
I do apologise.
Willie Highway.
An inglorious end to 1,431 years of supplying truckers with their smartest legwear. This I do not envy you having to read this one.
There was wonder this week at Founder's World as a mysterious jumper wearing Galactic entrepreneur Commander Braven, I'm fairly certain I stressed that incorrectly, honored the anniversary of the first Falcon Heavy liftoff with his own slightly bonkers launch. The commander said by many to be the real power behind the Federation and the Empire, not the Alliance though, an inventor of Hypergloop, the super sticky stuff you stick stuff to stuff with but comes unstuck when you want, is the founder of Frontier Developments, the company behind the Pilots Federation.
His voices.
Working hand in hand with Lakon Spaceways, he launched a specially modified Type 7 with a jump range of just over 70 light years and containing no less than its very own Red Scarab, complete with dummy pilots in the general direction of Sagittarius A. I do beg your pardon, Dickie. The launch of the ship was a roaring success, with the autopilot perfectly moving the modified Winnebago with wings out of the toast track with only minor scratches and the flameshift drive engaging without destroying itself. Shortly after this, Commander Braben realized that he'd left the keys to his new Pilots Federation offices in the ring within the Scarabs.
Yeah, sure.
Something. Plans for this upgraded Type 7 were unfortunately leaked to the Galactic Test Simulator run by the Pilots Federation, causing a minor hoo-ha, as explorers realized that their prime Anaconda Lightyear-eating jump machines were rendered redundant. An announcement by former Galactic intern Ed Lewis, he was removed from this position after reaching an age where it was utterly inappropriate to still be an intern and was given new duties, stated that the Braben Special Type 7 would not be released to the general pilot population, as it was most likely to detonate from jumping, injuring everyone horribly and causing a space-time rift. That would be bad, Dickie.
Oh, terrible.
There would, however, be a little magic that had been applied to the Type 9 last week, and building in some lighter bulkheads and a better distributor, which was their intention all along.
Yes. And finally, following an extensive investigation into exactly why the Pleiades repairs require more materials... No, he's not happy about this. Sandy's looking panicked. Why the Pleiades repair require more materials than the original station construction efforts, our roving reporters collared one Eddie Lee Wise, tailor to Lave Station, for an explanation.
Repairing stations not unlike my normal day job.
He stated.
Welding the buttressing into Psycho Cow's gusset, or beating the underwiring of Phoenix Defier's gusset into shape, is much the same as fixing a burning ring out in Pleiades.
He added.
The initial request for materials to build stations was just for raw items needed to bolt the prefab units together. As anyone who's ever had their vehicle serviced by a main dealer knows, repairing is always exponentially more expensive than just chucking it all in the bin. This here's a genuine 3303 antique. They don't make them like this anymore. A pump that could suck a golf ball through 30 foot of garden hose with no lubrication. Needs proper care. If you've got bent governor on your lift mechanism, you can't just hit it with hammer. It needs the right parts.
Which explains the 100,000 tons of titanium. Those were this week's news headlines, as brought to you by the Pilots Federation, and absolutely not Frontier Developments. We do not endorse this in any way. Oh dear.
Hang on, my hat fell off. Right. Time for the rest of the show. Apparently our listener likes it hard, so this week we've gone really hard with the theme for the show. As usual, we'll be giving away a Hutton Orbital radio mug to whoever guesses the theme.
We're going heavy tonight, and there's not much heavier than pretty maids with a little bit of Kingmaker.
Yeah, well done, Vicky. Oh, well done.
We're back in the studio. Security have kicked them out.
Can't believe they got in here and locked us out. That is despicable, mind you.
That's the Pilots Federation all over.
I do. You know, I can't help. I mean, they're so nice. I mean, everybody loves a bit of Dick and Willie.
I know, and they did such a good job about not giggling between the segments there. It was nearly utterly professional.
Utterly. It was utterly something, that is for sure. Oh my god, what a carry on. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. It's been crikey, it's been a busy week. Lots of stuff going on, Mr. Vantion.
Yes, I mean not least of which trying to find some some people to stand in for us while we went for a sneaky beer in that first section. That's the first time we've not done the first section of our own show.
Well, yeah, with that, neither one of us has been involved, and you know that's true. That is true.
I mean, where they come up with these headlines from, and poor Commander Braben and the ragging they gave him.
Looks despicable. It's terrible. I mean, if he was to say receive a copy of that in a brown envelope with a note.
Oh, yeah. Yes, this is what they say behind your back at Founders World in yes. I can't say the system it's in because I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, if you guys want to, want more Dick and Willie, then do get in touch at I took part at huttonorbital.com.
And well, they were definitely channeling a bit of Pete and Dud from back in the day there.
I'm not quite sure where Willie's from. It seems to be that possibly he's maybe an army family with a lot of travelling.
Well, possibly. He could be a relative of Cecil's, judging by the stumbling and, yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much, Willie and Dick for getting that out there, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Hopefully we will next time though, just let us know, and we'll let you in, we'll let you go. It's fine, you did a good job, we'll let you back.
Yeah, and obviously next week there are rumours that we might get locked out again. We're enjoying this break at the start of the show so much that there are strong rumours that somebody else might be giving us a free ride on the news next week too.
I had a little moment, I have to say, about 10 to 8 this evening as I was helping Susie get ready, give her her dinner and things, and I sat down for about 3 seconds, and when I stood up I thought, oh crap, I've put my back out, and I couldn't stand up right at all. And I was like, oh no, I'm so close to being on time for once, no. So fortunately it managed to ease off. I don't know what I did, I obviously upset something. But
sorry to hear that.
I mean, no, it's just one of those things where you're almost there, you're running on time, all is good, and then something just decides to jump into the mix. And this week, I'll tell you what I've got this weekend. I have something special planned, and it involves the Tech Monkey Symooth. I did not upset the gods of gravity, you cheeky bastards.
We'll have to talk to Eddie Lee Wise in his gravity-defying corset that he's built for you.
I could maybe use 2 of them. What I've got planned this weekend is I was just kind of inspired to because obviously the Tech Monkey's birthday is coming up next week, and I thought it'd be nice, normally you go out to a wee steak meal for something or other, but I thought I'd look around, and I found and sourced a nice, now what do they call it? They call it a hatchet? No, not a hatchet, tomahawk steak. Have you seen these? These are large cuts of rump on the bone.
Is this the kind of food that when I go to Scotland leaves the Tech Monkey sitting next to me looking at his watch saying, are you done yet?
No, this would be one that I think would do. It's 750 grams of prime rump steak attached to a gigantic bone.
Right, for those of you that can't see, I'm currently drooling into my beer.
We spent the day watching videos on how to cook this bastard. So the weekend we are going to attempt an interesting, because a lot of people say, you sear it, then you oven it, or you can, fry it in the pan all the way through, but with a steak that's about 4 inches thick, that's just not going to cut it. That's just going to be a big mistake. So we think we're going to do the reverse sear, which is when you oven it until it reaches the appropriate temperature that you want, and then you sear it off for the lovely, beautiful externals. And that's, I think,
those Maillard flavours is what you're talking about on the outside. The savoury in the same kind of territory as Marmite flavours on the outside of the steak, and then the lovely juicy sweet interior.
Just do you know tonight. So after watching videos all night, there was just no way that I couldn't try and find a steak for tonight. So I did it. I went a little bit over. It was definitely more medium than it was medium rare, but it was beautifully pink inside. And then I used that wonderful knob of butter just to baste it as it was in the final stages of cooking, and then rested it. And I need 3
yeah.
gravity.
You know the relationship that food and I have with each other.
Well, you 2-time them, but at the same time. So technically, it's more of a threesome.
Well, I've got 2 hands. There are 2 forks there. Why not?
But only one orifice. Yeah, but that's never stopped you before. And yeah. What?
Anyway, back on track with the show.
I'm not
so yes,
a
we
knacker.
have had a we've had a busy week, and there's loads of sort of Huttonish, truckerish, and other stuffish events coming up.
Yeah. Well, more than just Hutton, isn't it? It's much more special than just Hutton. And we've got our studio. We finally.
Well, is it Hutton-ish? It's in the Hutton flavour.
Well, it's definitely got added Hutton. That's definitely for sure. But it's bigger.
No. We start. What's the next one?
Oh God, wait a minute. I'm not sure what I'm talking about anymore.
And then there's another one, and then there's the one.
Oh, there's one in what, 2 weeks' time.
And the one in 2 weeks' time is in which part of the world?
That's in Seymour's Gaff.
Right, so Seymour's Garden.
Yeah.
And apparently
That's for the
they're
veggies.
arguing about what food to have, whether they can have takeaway pizza or Chinese or Indian or just eat the grass if you're vegetarian.
Yes, and I have to admit that if I was coming up especially for this event, I definitely wouldn't be vegetarian. I've seen his front lawn.
It's artificial grass, for goodness sake.
It's a bit chewy.
You'll end up really not well. You hear that these sort of giant fish and whatever else in the sea are having trouble eating plastics, and then we're voluntarily going up to eat Seymour's fake grass lawn.
Yes. Now, of course, what we're talking about is a pizza meet in Glasgow. Now, there's another pizza meet happening down. Where is it? There's a couple actually coming up. So now, if you're sitting there thinking, "We never have one of these in my area. We never have any in my side of the pond," just remember one simple thing: we are members of the community. We are nobody special. And what happened was, we had the amazing LaveCon, we had the amazing Fantasticon, and we all thought, you know what we could do with that? With a wee one in the middle somewhere, just so that we get a wee chance for a pint. Let's make it just more about meeting up and having a drink. And that's what happened. And then we just decided we'd move it around, giving everybody a chance to organise it with the support of everybody else that's done it before. And that's what we offer up to you. So if you're really sitting there thinking they never do this my side of the pond, and I know that there has been, or has it happened yet, the Texan pizza meet is happening at some point.
Well, no, I've got my diary up in front of me with all of the Hutton organised and Hutton related and Hutton-ish kind of events. And actually the next one is in Bristol on Saturday the 17th of February, where Commander Pom is launching his latest, definitely not elite related because he hasn't got permission, but maybe something to do with spaceships that you might find familiar, board game.
Oh yes.
Mini elite meet and board games, Chance Encounters in Bristol on Saturday the 17th of February.
Awesome.
We've then got Commander Hankey's birthday bash, which is in game on the 28th of February.
I missed his birthday last year. Well, I didn't. I wished him happy birthday the day after, and he still
which
hasn't forgiven
involves
me.
going to find the hanky and going to do stuff. We've then got the North American and West Coast pizza meet in now this is in the West Coast of the US. This is Hillsborough Rockwood Fired Kitchen, which is in, hang on a second, it's Hillsborough, Oregon. Portland, near Portland, there we go. So if you're West Coast truckers and you want to go to Oregon, they're having a pizza meet on March the 17th. Get in touch with us at the usual contact details, huttonorbital.com if you'd like to come along. Now the gentleman organising this is currently on holiday, so it might be a couple of days before he gets back to you. But if you're West Coast and anywhere near Oregon, feel free to give us a shout and we'll put you in touch with the organiser. Currently they've got, I think, 8 commanders going to it. to eat pizza and talk all about Elite and stuff, but they'd love to have more. I'm pretty sure that's somewhere near Canada as well. There's a couple of guys coming down from Canada.
That's excellent. Now, I've just seen that Lennon's put a kibosh in his invitation by suggesting that they might want to put oregano on their pizzas. Lennon.
That's worthy of Odimon, that pun.
So yeah, that's Oregon, and then we've got, what's after that? Is Glasgow?
So that's 18th of March. So we're getting into April then, and on the 14th of April.
On the 14th of April, what happens for us?
We have this year's version of the Elite Community Meet, which was called Elite Meet last year, but everybody thought it was a dodgy dating thing for executives. Where last year we had 138 commanders turned up and socialise and do gaming and do stuff and do VR and Artemis and listen to a Hutton Orbital Live and Pixel Bandits and have fun thing on, yes, Saturday the 14th of April. And it's going to be in the Thames Valley area. It's near Reading.
Ooh, no, of course.
In fact, it's somewhere between Reading and Bratton.
Yeah, the good old ECM, the Elite Community Meet, is an event that is not set up to provide you with an evening's entertainment. So if you are a player group in that area and you want to come along and put on a wee podcast show, or you want to run a table, or you want to do something for your members, then just get in touch with us, let us know, and we'll get in touch with the organisers. We're looking for people in that local area that want to show off stuff, because that is the beauty behind the Elite Community Meet, is it's about the community, and we move it around to give everyone a chance to be superstars, to come and show off their, whether it be that you want to show off your rigged up chairs with your controllers on it, or whether or not you want to show off your pretty UV play while you get a tan computer systems, then that's fine. If you want to set up a wee Xbox LAN and play CQC, then...
No, with Xbox LAN is already in progress in conjunction with the Pixel Bandits, who have already committed. I think we've already got 3 confirmed going to be turning up once the ticketing goes live. Pixel Bandits, and they're bringing a little mini Xbox experience to the event.
But it's a nicer event if you are, because I'll say it's a nicer event, I don't mean that at all, it's a different event, it's just the fact that it's more about meeting people and playing and having time to play around tables and just, experience the community as a community. And we often have people travelling, I'm hoping
We've got 2 international coming already confirmed. Mm-hmm. We have got Commander Squib, formerly Squibbo, also known as Andy Tuffrey, coming over from Team Hotbox, who's flying over from Amsterdam. And we did have, was it Lenin?
I think
Who
Lenin
was suggesting he might be flying into Heathrow.
So yeah, yep, that would be awesome. So let us know if you want to, come along. Oh, but Dave, I've got a question for you from everybody.
Go on then.
How do I get tickets for that?
Right, well, some point early next week, as soon as the hotel have given us the go-ahead with the room booking stuff, we are going to put ticketing live on elitemeet.info. And we're going to put it all over the Hutton Facebook page and the Elite Dangerous community and the Mobius group and everywhere else. Now, the ticketing's really, really, really easy. You can give a couple of pennies to turn up. Well, a couple of pennies. The way this works is we're charging for what it costs us, and everything over and above that goes to one of our 2 charities. So we're covering our costs and chucking money into charity. So the crew pays, everybody pays, and the easiest way to get there, if you don't want to spend any money, is just buy a ticket to turn up, which is going to be not very much. And then if you want some lunch, because we're going to put on a bit of a team lunch for those that want it, you pay a couple of pennies extra, which is less than a tenner for lunch. And then if you'd like to come and join us for dinner, there's a few pennies more you can chuck in the tin, and that covers having your dinner and a great big buffet dinner with everybody. We open at 10 in the morning, we close at around midnight on that Saturday, but there's something special on the Sunday. Go on, tell them.
Huh?
The Sunday thing, lunchtime.
I don't know.
Well, a Hutton pizza meet as well on the same weekend.
What?
So Commander Brett Riverboat, who's down in the green room at the moment, has said that if everybody ticks the little box on their ticket booking form when they book their ticket to say, I'd love to come to a Hutton Pizza Meet on the Sunday, we're all going to decamp from the event on the Sunday once we all feel a bit better in the morning, and we're going to wander over to his wonderful establishment, and we're going to be a bunch of tossers.
Right, I did not know this, and this is surprise extra news to me.
Yep, so we're going to be courtesy of Brett Riverboat. If enough people say yes, I mean, if nobody says yes, then we're not going to bother, but we will do, because we normally have the pizza meets there, and we've had sort of 12, 13 people there at the busiest one. We're hoping to have 10 times that, maybe. We're all going to decamp to his restaurant, take it over, kick everybody else out, and learn how to toss pizzas and make the extra special Hutton pizza that we had last time.
That's
on the
fantastic.
Sunday for lunch, to soak up all the badness you've eaten and drunk the day before on the Sunday. So one of the options on your ticket booking form, and this is not a pay at the time, this is a pay on the day thing, is yes, I'd love to come to the restaurant and be a tosser.
Excellent. So tick the tosser box if you fancy being a tosser, and skip that Reading area, the Reading library.
Yeah, we've signed the contract, we paid the money, but we're not going to tell everybody where it is, because we know as soon as we tell everybody where it is, they're going to phone the hotel directly, and they all get really stressed about the price of hotel rooms. It is going to be at a hotel. There are hotel rooms available. We've organised a rate with the hotel, which is, it's all right, because double occupancy is the same cost as single occupancy. So if you're doubling up, you're getting a twin, whatever else, you can share your space, or you can have it all to yourself, like Mr. Champagne is. And so you can stay, you can just drive down for the day, you can join us for the evening, whatever you like. You just tick the option for what you want to come and do. And if you want to stay at the hotel, we've organised a rate with them as well. It's got space for Alvin to run around, it's got a great big room. We're paying for wired internet, so we can bring PCs with us. We'll probably limit that as around 20, we reckon. After we get 20 people say yes, we might start having to spend a few more pennies.
Yeah, so get in touch and let us know, especially if you are in the local area, if you have anything that you know, because I think when we had it in Glasgow, we had oh crikey, what was his name? Oh no, it was Ben, and he brought and Ventura brought PCs as well, and set up sort of like older machines that ran Elite and various different games all over the different parts of the room to give us some machines. We had the Artemis set up and things. So if you want to get involved and you're in that area and you think you've got something that you want to share with people, if you're a player group, get in touch, because we want you to come involved. This is not an exclusive Hutton Truckers event. It is open to everybody.
You can mob the stage. You can go up on the stage and you can tell everybody why the fuel rats are the best people, or the EDC, or the Hammers of Slough, or if you want to stand up on stage and do a couple of bits. We have a stage there. There's no program for the day in terms of that stage is not full. If you want to use it for a podcast, come and see us. The only bits that are going to be definitely live from the stage are going to be a version of this show at some point during the late afternoon, evening, and the Pixel Bandits podcast that they always do, which we did from our stand at Frontier Expo as well.
Yeah.
If you don't know what it's like, the bit round our stand at Frontier Expo and what happened there is a bit like what this whole event is. It's probably the best guide.
Yeah, a bit of craziness, a bit of fun, and no pressure at all. So please do come forward if you fancy a go at it.
I've got an important question for now. I've got a question from the room. Okay. So there's always the sceptical question: who's making money out of this?
Yeah, that's that.
That'd be me.
Burn them.
Go on then. Who is making money out of this? Somebody's got to be running this and making money.
Okay,
Well, if you guys are coming to my restaurant on Sunday, then I'm going to be making lots of profit from you guys, even though it's 50% off.
Well, you see, now, what we do is this very, very simple rule that we've been following with all the Elite Meets. And usually about a week to 2 weeks after Elite Meet, you will see that we will publish the books. We will publish what money we took in, how many tickets we sold, and we will publish all the money taken in the raffle. We will show you exactly where your cash has gone. You will see the costs of the hotel room, you will see the costs of the meals and who's paid for what, and then every single penny that is left over will be split between the two charities, Special Effects and Hearing Dogs for the Deaf, equally, and that's where your extra cash will go. So when you're down there, it's not going to be a very, I mean, you can make it as expensive as you want, you know, by all means, buy 6 rooms, sleep in one, 3 times, and, you know, just change rooms throughout the night. Whatever you fancy doing, you can spend as much as you want. If you don't want to stay in that hotel, find another hotel nearby. You bunk up with Pillbox. Apparently he's quite accommodating, so says Skip Rat. But none of the money goes to anyone. The organising teams, occasionally we will have equipment or anything that needs to be purchased that will come from the ticket prices if it allows. And most of the time you will find that the majority
20 quid on that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
20 quid on that last year.
Most of the time the silly arses that are in the organisation team put these things in as donations, and you are again also welcome to donate to the cause if you so desire. Anything above the costs incurred will go to charity, and you will see that after the event.
Absolutely. Now, there are a couple of companies that do support us, and what we're not doing, it's not one of those ones where you can go and buy dodgy Star Wars knockoffs, and you're not going to meet extras from Star Trek. You're going to sign your stuff. You're turning up, you're joining in,
I'll sign your boots.
you're having fun. Well, we'll sign it, that's fine. But, yeah, there's nothing to buy there. There's nothing to spend money on apart from, yeah, turning up.
Well, there may well be a stand for the various charities we've got. There may well be somebody raising funds for special effects, whatever. There may well be things that you can, but there won't be any
No, you see, may
stalls.
well be. No, Special Effect have confirmed they are going to be there, and they're going to bring some of the gear that they use for the people they help. And we get to have a go with some of the eye gaze bits and bobs on the Special Effect little corner that we're going to put aside. So Special Effect have confirmed they're definitely going to be there.
Right. So you know this is and Hearing Dogs. We're working on getting some amazing information from them, so you can see what spectacular work these guys have been doing with our support over the last couple of years, which is going to be amazing to see. And yeah, get along. Just pop in for the day. Come have a look and, you know, have some fun, say hello, and join us.
Lots of board games, lots of computer games. Occasionally we have docking darts. There's some VR. We try and get Oculus Rift and an HTC Vive there as well, so you get to have a go on VR if you've never had a go. Pixel bandits, all sorts. And
yeah, as
now,
we say, the big important thing is if you're in the area and you want to come along and represent your player group, then do it. We want you.
But do the devs turn up and do they do a panel?
No, we don't put on content. It's not a show. You're not paying to come along. Now, so if you've got your kids and you think, well, my kids would love to see stuff about Elite, it's not designed for children. It's designed for Elite players and fans and friends to come and hang out. So if you can imagine your mate said you fancy coming out for a pint and you go, aye, and then you turn up with your kids potentially could be very bored. Now, it doesn't tend to happen, and there have been many children coming along. They will be very, very welcome, but there may be language that won't suit them, that may make them unhappy, but not intentionally. It's not made to be anti-children.
The computer games may not be age appropriate, PUBG.
Yet, for example, if you make me play Kerbals, then the air will go blue and it will be embarrassing. But you know, they are welcome. You're welcome to bring them along. But I think it could be a little bit boring for children. But if it's the difference between you coming along and not coming along, come along with them. Well, you know, but just be.
And there will be alcohol consumed at some point by the people turning up. It is kick back and have a beer and play some games with your mates. ECM 2018.
Indeed, and it's going to be epic. Now, as we were saying at the beginning, if you are sitting there going, well, they never do anything this side of the pond, or they never do this thing in my area, then get yourselves involved. Talk to us if you want, you know, some advice on what to do, or not that we're particularly experts. In fact, you know, we change hands every time, and everyone does it their own way.
I resemble that remark.
Yeah, you just do it your own way, and we bicker and we argue and we fight about it, which is awesome, because in the end we all care about the event and we want these to happen everywhere. So if you're doing one and you want to, and you can follow that model, it's very important that you can follow the model that all you do is cover your costs and the rest goes to the charities, then you could be quite happily doing your own Elite community meet in your country. I think Buck's doing one in his back garden.
Yeah, well, Smooth's doing one in his back garden. So yeah,
he's doing a pizza meet, and it's probably going to be.
Oh, I heard it. I heard it was some kind of crazy Texan wood-fired barbecue thing.
It's. I mean, the same move.
Wood fire, bonfire in the naked nude. Hell yeah, let's get it on.
Oh, dearie me.
And that's how they do it in Texas, yes.
So yeah, don't get dismayed if it never happens in your area. Just have a pizza meet first. First of all, always try a little pizza meet. See how many people are in your area. Meet up with them, have a chat, and then see if there's any desire, whether or not you can band together and get together what you might need, or whether you can find a little venue. It just starts in the pub. Starts the pub with a couple of board games and a chat, and a lot of beers, and then it grows, and that's what you
Yeah, and then you speak to the pub and say if you've got a big room, and what does it cost to hire the big room, and they give you a number, and you divide that by the number of people turning up, and say we'll have the big room, and then everybody chucks in whatever dollars, yen, whatever it is, into the tin, and then you, enjoy the evening.
Well,
Or day, or weekend, whichever. Right, so that's enough about events. There are lots of events coming up, and we're going to put ticketing live next week.
right, we'll let you know. We'll shout it anyway. Right. Well, what else was there? Well, we've got Flossie and we've got Russell here as well. So good evening to you guys, and Brett as well, sneaking in.
Hello.
Hello.
Now, did you like our guest presenters who locked us out of the studio?
Wow. What can we say? Right.
They made us look like amateurs.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Apart from the fact that we are, yes. That was polished. I mean, how they came up with that script on their own, nobody knows.
Innate skills.
Yes, and given that they'd just done a 2-hour TV broadcast before that was even better.
That wasn't really.
No, they were. I heard they were doing a TV broadcast live from somewhere in Founders World.
Barnard Star. They would call it Bernard Star, but don't worry about that. It's fine. Right. So we should we move on?
What we've got, we've got, before we go into the hot pit bit with Commander Evenstar, we do have another one of our introductions to one of Hutton's systems. And this week we've got Wolf 124.
Now, when you say before we go into Hot Pit Report, is this before we even play the song? Yes, it is. I can see it right in front of me now.
You see in the script, now see, it says Song 1, Kingmaker Pretty Maids, General Banter, chat to our guests if they haven't quit yet, which they have, talk about ECM, and then Wolf 124. That bit, yeah?
I see that. We need Willie and Dick back.
2 minutes 45 seconds.
I need Willie. Alright, okay, here we go.
Welcome, truckers. I'm Commander Eisenary. I'm the overseer of Wolf 124. Thanks very much for the job. We're located a few light years away from Seoul, 33.98 to be exact, but who's counting? We only have one son, unfortunately, but she's a hot little thing, and a Class M to boot, so you can drop in and fill up. Here at Wolf 124, there are 2 stations available for your use, truckers. First one is Willis Port, that's the main station. She's got large landing pads, so pretty much any ship can drop in and say hi. Our second station, Yamazaki Station, has only up to medium pads, I'm afraid, so that does limit the ships available, but by all means drop in and say hi. Here at Willisport, we've got many facilities available for you, including commodity market, black market, but who really uses those, right? Outfitter facilities are available. Unfortunately, it's run by Doodleberry, out of a local village idiot, but he's a very good mechanic and has up to Class 8 in some categories. And of course, there's the shipyard. Well, we have 13 types of ships, some used, some not, some slightly dubious origins, but many ships anyway, including of course the classic Vulture, Eagle, Ass Scout, Ass Explorer. But you're truckers, right? So what do we have for you? Well, we have Type 6, Type 7, and yes, Type 9. No Type 10s. We don't like them here. Well, I do, but they don't. Moving on, being a refinery, we just love importing things. And one of the things we really need is natural fabrics, because obviously we don't have the facility to be able to do it. Also, copper and polymers are really, really popular here. Even better, we'd love being able to export crop harvesters, food cartridges, and of course, hydrogen fuel. From Yamazaki Station, they also do export titanium. Always a good place to remember for those community goals. For the miners out there, we have an asteroid belt which happens to be metal rich, so come in and blast away. But we also have 3 planets that have rings, including one that has a dual ring of rocky and ice components. Very useful, 2 for 1 so to speak. Looking for some planetary surface action? Well, we've got a surprise for you. Wolf 124 has 17 landable planets, having a whole host of mineral goodies waiting for you to discover. These include the standard ones such as carbon, sulfur, iron, phosphorus, but there are also a couple of rare ones, and believe it or not, a couple of very rare ones. I would tell you about it, but what's the fun in that? So pop down to Wolf 124 and see what we are hiding for you.
And that's now, what, the third one of our systems that we've had an introduction to. We've got another one next week.
They're awesome. Yeah. And depending on the hot pit team, we might have more, or maybe less. Who knows?
Well, we're going to have to get Intarius Fusion to tell us all about Wolf 359 sometime soon, which could be controversial. But talking of that, it says on my script here, lead into hot pit. There's all sorts of shenanigans going on, but so we need to get on to the hot pit bit. Well, would you like to introduce our second tune for the theme for a Hutton Radio Mug?
Yeah, sure. Well, it was Super Bowl week this week, and we had to find a tune that fitted in with that amazing, very confusing, bizarre spot loved by the night shift and other kinds of weird people that only come out at night. We can't remember who was playing, or in fact who won, but we think these things, you know, we think these guys, I'm pretty sure these guys play that sport, you know, the Super Bowl. It's something to do with cereal, cornflakes or something. Wow, welcome to the G-Force? I thought it was difficult to find the G-Force.
Well, that's what your thrusters are for.
I think I'm going to figure something else. Okay, right, here you go. Yes, good evening, get out. Hello, good evening, Russell, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine and dandy, me.
How are things around, you know, how is the hot pit team doing? Are they all well and fine and rested and ready to grab Hutton by the horns?
Grab something by somewhere, but perhaps we shouldn't go into that, just for, you know, safety reasons.
Okay, well, we know that dear old Vantion has nipped off for a little...
No.
Well, you're
Oh, back. It's only 3 flights of stairs, it's fine.
That's not bad going.
Cubicle 1 this time, was it?
3 flights of stairs, open a bottle of wine, pour myself a glass of wine, say hi to Mrs. Van Taen, and then run back upstairs.
That's what everyone wants to know. Was it number 1 or number 2? I mean cubicle. Number 1 or number 2? Because it was 3 seconds ago.
No, it was like a racehorse. This one. This was a mighty stream.
And you would think it would be easier in 0G.
Well, yeah.
One of Eddie Lee Wise's suction pumps, I think, attached to the end of it.
Okay, right.
Anyway, so the Green Bay Packers was a little bit shorter than we thought. No, it wasn't. It was only 2 minutes 16 seconds. Normally, I'm used to the 4 minute songs. Phew.
Well, I know that Simon was a member of the. No, he wasn't the Green Bay Packers. I'm thinking of something completely different. Shall we go into the Hawkpit report?
Please. Should we go for the full rundown this week? Try and go for all 17. What do you think?
Ooh, go for it. That'd be cool.
Go for it. Right, here we go. So this is going to be your really fast weekly rundown from the Hutton Orbital Truckers political information team. So tonight, latest scores at 17 down at 42% at 1. It's Wolf 359. At 16 down 3 at 32%. It's Barnard Star. And at 15 down 17 at 40%. It's Epsilon Eridani. At 14 down 4 at 42. It's Epsilon Indy. At 13 down 3 at 47%. It's Ross 671. At 12, holding at 47%, it's Tripping. At 11, down 2 at 48, it's Cokery. At 10, up 5 at 53, it's Wolf 25, nearly made that. At 9, down 1 at 54%, it's PSPF LF2. And at 8, down 1 at 56%, it's LP245-10. At 7, up 10 at 66, it's George's Pantazis. And at 6, up 17 at 66, it's Stein 2051. At 5, up 27 at 67, it's Wise 08550714. And at 4, up 3 at 68%, it's Van Marnen Star. And at 3, up 3 at 69, NHS 340. At 2, up 16 at 77, it's Wolf 124. And at 1, up 33% at 79, it's Alpha Centauri. And over in Colonia. At 5, up 2 at 5%, it's Fartauri. At 4, holding at 8%, it's Pythias. At 3, up 4 at 18%, it's Signalis. At 2, up 10 at 57, it's EOL Procol Centauri. And at 1, up 18 at 59%, it's Deriso. Oh, I'm all out of breath now.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes.
wow, bro, that's amazing.
So yeah, I mean, it begs the question. And see, we were hoping the guest presenters would still be here, but they've gone for a lie down after that stint earlier. What does it all mean?
Well, good evening, everyone. This week's been a bit of a funny one. Well, the most important thing, Mr. W of Barnard Star gets his war. We're going for Boston base, and it kicks off on Sunday morning. Yay!
Woohoo!
That is a full-on war, so we need to boost all of our systems to make sure that we don't drop too far.
Tell you
but
what, though.
something's-
Sorry, before we go on, a war. What a weekend to pick. What a weekend to pick. With the beta simulator being shut down on the Friday, that means you've got a full complement of truckers.
That's absolutely true, actually. Yeah, beta finishes tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, well, that's good news for us. But we have some strange news as well, that Wolf 359 has gone from 40% to 1% in the space of 2 days. So we don't know what's happening. We don't know whether it's skim emissions or something, but we need to pull ourselves out of a retreat. So if we could get all hands over to 359 to do everything, that's trade, that's bounties, that's data, that's everything, then hopefully by the time war kicks in on Sunday morning...
I've got a question, sir. I've got a question, sir.
Yes?
Why everything? Why not just lots of bounty hunting?
Well, if you do everything, then it fills all the pots, because there's a pot for trade, there's a pot for data, there's a pot for bounty hunting, and there's a pot for missions. If we do everything, then it multiplies the effect and we get a big rise. We need to be above 2.5% by Sunday morning.
Now, are the evil enemy, Commander Wren? Sorry, it's not Commander Wren.
Well, no,
are the
say
evil
that.
enemy going to be just carrying on battering us? The drop. It's Vert, isn't it? It's the Don. It's the Don's allies.
Yes, it's the Don's allies for sure. We're not exactly sure where it's happening. Wren does seem to be involved. We're playing a game of hide and seek with them right now. Yeah, we don't know whether this is going to be sustained or whether this is just a short blip on the radar.
Right, so all we need to do by Sunday lunchtime is up a bit.
Yes, but also
So,
not
by doing
forgetting
everything.
Barnard Star. We do need to make sure we got a considerable lead when it comes to water.
Now, why is Boston Basin Barnard Star important?
Well, that is down to the Dockers podcast. Cal, would you like to discuss that a bit?
The Dockers podcast, which of course is the elite-based mockumentary series about the busy goings-on in a busy space station. Now, originally it was out before the Alpha, and we didn't actually know what the station was called, so we called it the Star Station. Turns out it will be Boston-based because it's orbiting Birmingham World. And you, if you want to tune in and listen to some of the podcasts, it is not safe for work, it is very rude, it's very funny, and it follows the poor, long-suffering Swallow family as they attempt to get on and deal with a dodgy station boss, David Rubin. And basically, it explains all those times, those weird things happen when you are, flying into a station and your pad disappears. It's probably Richard Swallow pissing about. Maybe it's Sean as well, but those guys are a nightmare at docking control. So check out bs-dockers.com and you can listen to those podcasts where you can find them mentioned. And of course, we're going to take over the
Now,
station.
what does it mean for LaveCon?
Well, we do a live Dockers reading at LaveCon, and it does mean that the poor creator, Mr. I-69, is going to have to rewrite the damn thing to include the truckers. So we may have to write a part for Nocta Vegas to come in. We may have to write a part for Alvin. And Alvin, if I was you, I'd possibly maybe want to get the threats and the blackmail on Lister I-69 before he writes the script. Just saying.
Right, so we're trying to win that one so we get more fun at LaveCon, and we're trying not to lose Wolf 359 so we don't lose all the fun with the Don. We can't let the Don win. What are the four horsemen of the apocalypse coming up other than that? Do we care what the pending states are?
No, we don't care what the pending states are, quite simply because it's not going to happen. We're currently on a live retreat, and that should end on Sunday when we go live for war. We do have civil unrest and expansion, but I believe both are going to be erased at the second the war starts.
Right, okay, so we just do stuff in those two systems. Are the rest of the systems looking healthy enough to ride out the war?
Yeah, we got some data dropped off today, which is fantastic, and the same guy's going to do something.
And the lockdown, though, is over?
Yeah, lockdown's over because retreat went live. So the stations are open and everyone can do everything. Hence, we're sending people on trading.
And mugs are back on
stuff.
the order books.
Oh, yes.
Right, okay. And over in Colonia, now, lots of people are dropping data, but we've not had much progress on positive things over there because we haven't got a retreat yet, I think.
Again, I'm not sure, but that's why we got King Hanky in charge with Mind Wipe down there, and he should be able to fill you in on what's going on.
We'll mention that when we go down to the green room, but the basics are do stuff for us in our systems, which are Doritos and Hutton Moon, which is in Il Procol Centauri, and do stuff against us in Signalis and Pytheas and Far Tauri, and basically, if we don't own it, work against us, and if we do own it, help us.
Okay, sounds good.
And I'm sure they're going to tell us what the states are when we go down to the green room if we ask them really, really nicely.
Well, I could probably tell you what the states are now.
Go on.
Okay, so we are in a current state of boom, and we don't have any pending states, actually. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. No,
Colonia's a bit boring.
Yeah, it's just a boom, so lots of missions and get the job done. But not for us in the other systems.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much to you. And how is the rest of the Hot Pit team and the Hot Ops team and the Hot Plops team and the Hot Scots team?
Yeah, they're all doing very well. The custodians are doing excellently. We absolutely love having them on board. We're a couple of systems short, actually, so if there's anyone else that's interested in taking some systems, then please get in touch.
Does it mean you have to devote your every waking hour to helping that system?
Absolutely not, no. We're all in league together, so we're all supporting each other's systems. But as we've heard on the radio, it's quite nice to have individual reports on everyone's own systems to find out what's going on and what the good stuff is about every system we own.
Well, thank you very much to you, and thank you very much to Evenstar and the Hot Pits team. Now, we've shuffled the show this week for reasons. So, normally everybody's expecting right now to hear from that wonderful, calm voice, that peace and quiet that is community goals and cooperation and working together on stuff that is Commander Flossie. But we decided, for reasons, that next we weren't going to have Flossie.
What?
Yeehaw, guys!
And yes, we thought we'd bump the Buck Naked up the briefing list up to now and go into a bit of Buck Naked and the top trucker coming up soon because he lost his rag, his Black Mountain rag. So yes, well the next tune then has to be the Black Mountain rag by Chet Atkins for Buck Naked.
Thank you, Chet, my boy. That's great. To tell you the truth about it, that's much better than I could.
Now you're a Hutton trucker. All you gotta do is truck that truck. When you're a Hutton trucker, if you can't turn a profit, then you're out of luck. It's for the month that we fly all over the space. .22 light years crossed at a hell of a pace. Just turn the wheel and keep that smile on your face. Maybe someday soon you'll be a top trucker.
Well, howdy there, truckers. This is old Buck Naked, spokesman for Lakon Spaceways, back again for this week's Hutton Top Trucker. How do we keep up with your shenanigans while you tootle around in the Milky Way? Why, we install this little piece of software called the Hutton Helper in your spaceship. If you ain't already got it installed, you can install it yourself. relatively pain-free by going to the website hot.forthemug.com. Almost as pain-free as a 22,000 light-year trip out to the Dove Enigma and leaving your coffee at home. So let's get on to our top truckers from last week. Yee-haw! From the Explorers, jumping like damn horny toads down at the creek, Commander Highway Warrior takes the lead this week with a tad over 34,500 light years jumped. Bet your legs are sure tired. Taking in the bounties this week, we have Commander Atik 2 cashing in 39 million credits. But wait, where's Commander Terran with his 100 million credits again, you ask? Seems the dastardly Don Antonacci rewired his ship computer and had him shooting up the wrong ships. Terran's off having a bit of a mental breakdown now. Our top mission trucker this week is Commander Train Freak with 876 missions completed for the mug. Miss Lael has a gift card to McThargoids for all your hard work, Commander. And driving the Hutton short bus this week, Commander Cully 388 takes the lead for toting 1,533 passengers round the galaxy. And for the cargo carrying truckers, doing what we do best, this week's winner is Commander Light 027 for the second time in a row with roughly 113,300 tons of cargo hauled. Keep it up out there at Obsidian Orbital, Commander. The Ant sends his personal regards. And be sure to check out the Hutton Helper's newest feature. It'll time your Hutton runs for you. And as of this recording, the fastest time to Hutton Orbital has been set by Commander Bam in 1 hour, 25 minutes, and 53 seconds. Think you got what it takes to beat that score? Well, get it installed and get to flying, Commander. You want to hear your name on this here radio station? Make sure you got the Hutton Helper installed. Pick it up on the web at hot.forthemug.com and get to trucking. Hutton Top Trucker, brought to you by Lakon Spaceways, the only ships in the galaxy with a book of dirty jokes in the glove compartment. Speaking of which, I once told a waitress my coffee tasted like mud. She grinned and replied, "Well, Buck, it is fresh ground."
Oh, I swear he and Odie must be collaborating on these things.
Comparing notes, fresh ground. Seriously.
Oh, dear. I mean, it's just because he's got so much Lakon stuff he could talk about. He could talk about Type 7s and their jump range. He could talk about Type 9s and their cargo space, Type 10s and their combat skills, Chieftains and their chieftanishness, tankiness, there you go. But instead he comes up with the puns.
I think he's claiming to have NDAs in place, but I don't think that is really what the NDA is. It's not what you're thinking it means.
No, because it's out in the public domain now. There is definitely, well, we put it in the news. The Type 7 thing, and last week was the Type 9 thing, and then before that was the Type 10 thing.
Yeah, it's all out. Slight buck, it's all out.
Anyway, so we're going to get back on schedule now, because for reasons
Fake
we
news.
put. Oh, what?
Fake news.
Fake news. Ginger hair, bad hairdo,
What are you talking about?
military parades.
You can't be talking about Flossie.
Anyway, sorry. Yes, so we shuffled Flossie, and Flossie came after Bark. But Flossie, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
And do you have stuff for us?
Yes, I've got stuff for you, yes.
Shall I push the button?
Well,
Shall I push
now
the button?
Flossie, are you? We're not going to do Flossie quite yet, but are you a combat killing mother trucker here?
No.
You're not, because you see, we lined this next one up specially for you. But as a cold-hearted, combat trucking, res site murdering kind of mother trucker.
see me anywhere near a rest site.
Do you know what? We stuffed this one up, didn't we?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
well aware of the combat.
we're just going to play this one anyway. You just have to listen to the lyrics. But before we have Flossie, we've got some killers.
She's a dab hand with a frying pan.
Oh, Robbie says yes. Ding! Yeah. Flesh and bone by the killers. And then some Flossie to make us all feel better.
I've gone through life white knuckling the moments that left me behind, refusing to heed the yield. I penetrate the force fields in the blind. They say I'll adjust, God knows I must, but I'm not sure how. This natural selection picked me out to be a dark horse running in a fantasy. And I'm running out of time. Somewhere outside that finish line, I square up and break through the chains. And I hit like a raging bull, anointed by the blood, I take the reins. Cut from the cloth of a flag that bears the name Battleborn. They'll call me the contender, they'll listen for the bell, with my face flashing crimson from the fires of hell. What are you afraid of? And what are you made of? Flesh and bone. And I'm running out of time. Flesh and bone. And what are you made of? Flesh and bone. Man, I'm turning on a dime. Flesh and bone. This could decay like the valley below. Defenses are down, stakes are high. Crowd for a face, fairy tale ending, staggering blows. Led with your chin, this could be real. Simple. And what are you made of? Flesh and bone. And I'm running out of time. Flesh and bone. What are you made of? Faces forward, chains of blindness, with a flow of love. Time is raging, they rage in vain. And you always had it, but you never knew. So the boots and saddles, get on your feet. There's no surrender, there's no retreat. The bells are sobbing, there's pulse to lead. We're the descendants of John Lennon.
I was enjoying that song too much. I was singing along with it. Cracking song there. Cracking song. So it is, of course, Flossie. Are you good to go?
Yep, fine, yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's my favourite queen of the community goals coming up right now with all the latest and greatest from the community goals in the Elite Dangerous, and of course with an update from last week's. Let's, without any further ado, or making up words, let's press the button and introduce Flossie!
It's flossy. It's flossy. And the community goes.
Hello, Flossie here with this week's Community Goals news. First of all, last week's mug competition. I've only had one entry to this from a Commander Ray Trucker, who collected 2,684 tonnes to get into the top 10 commanders.
He's on Twitch.
So, well done. He's on Twitch, is he?
Yes, Truckery! You've won a mug! Truckery!
Oh yeah, there, yeah. I see him now.
Yep.
Yeah,
if you want to PM your address, even if you want to PM it to Mike Snoz in the chat there.
He actually gave me his address when he sent me a message last night with it all, so I'll copy that. Where you can see it.
That'd be awesome. Thank you very much for Sesame, and congratulations, Truckery. Well done.
Yeah. So right on to this week's CGs. Which at first I thought was the usual combination of trade and bounty hunting, but then it was pointed out to me that they're both actually collecting stuff. So both sort of trade. Preserving the SIM archive. The Utopia movement has announced that the SIM archive is to undergo a period of comprehensive maintenance. Pranav Ansel, leader of Utopia, elaborated on the nature of the project. The SIM archive is Utopia's primary achievement, a vast digital repository containing the collective wisdom of all our departed brothers and sisters. But like any system, the archive requires constant maintenance, as a failure in the system could result in the loss of irreplaceable knowledge. We have therefore placed an open order for various materials for use in this delicate work. The official Airman Die Front has been authorised to oversee the initiative and has pledged to reward pilots who deliver the requested commodities to Chargaff Orbital in the Airman Die system. And did it say what these things were? I don't think it did it? It does say it somewhere. Let me just check. I thought it had all the details. Right, it's to bring hybrid capacitors, phase alloys and conductive polymers to Chargaff Orbital.
Did you say can you repeat the name of the station there, because
it's Chargaff, C-A-R-G-A-F-F. Chargaff.
Okay, right, because I've been watching Altered Carbon and it sounded a bit like the nightclub they went to in that, which of course wasn't called Chargaff at all.
Oh, right, I see.
I'm not being funny, I couldn't quite make it out and I was a bit concerned for a minute, but you carry on, Flossie, sorry.
Sorry, what was that?
I was a wee bit concerned, but you're right, you're right. Just carry on.
Oh, good. Right. And the second CG is Ramtar's Last Hurrah. Ramtar, the galaxy's foremost expert on the Guardians, has revealed that his research funding will soon end. In an effort to make the most of his remaining finances, the engineer has appealed to independent pilots to deliver Guardian artifacts to his base in the Mean system. In a statement, Ramtar said, "Public interest in the Guardians may have waned, but I believe there is more to learn. Only through thorough investigation and analysis can we hope to fully understand the Guardians, their technology and their relationship to other species. This knowledge could be of great importance to humanity." The campaign has received a financial boost from Mean General Industries, which has promised to reward pilots who deliver artifacts from Guardian sites to fully stock in the Mean system. Both these campaigns begin today, the 8th of February, and will run for 1 week. And if the final target by earlier planned, will end immediately. And that is this week's CG News.
Thank you very much. So, 2 trucking ones to take stuff. That's pretty good choice. Now, that does make it a little bit more tricky for you to decide which one may be mug worthy.
Yeah, it does. Don't know.
Well, which one's got the more interesting cargo? Which one do you reckon will be the most popular? And then pick the other one.
What did it say together for this one? I haven't told you that one either. Just a minute.
Eric Murphy.
This one is delivering artifacts from Guardian sites. Right, so it's just any of the artifacts from Guardian sites for that one. And what I said earlier for the other one. So, I don't know.
How easy is it to get Guardian stuff? The stuff that he's asking for from Guardian sites.
I don't think it's easy to get any of the stuff from any of them.
All right, okay. Tell you what then. Right, let's not pick. Top 10 in both. If we can get top 10 in either or, there we go. We'll just put it both.
Right, okay then, yeah. So top 10 in that of the CGs.
Now this is your chance if you're out there thinking, how do I get a mod? Go get yourself involved in one of these community goals. They may be oversubscribed and very difficult to get into the top 10, or you might find one that there's nobody particularly interested in doing. Obviously we're going to have war this weekend, so it's not the best of times, but if we can get top 10, and this is a possibility here, this could happen this week, if we were to get 10 truckers in the top 10 of both community goals, I'll be posting 20 mugs out next weekend. So if you ever wanted to screw me over right and royally, this is the week.
So all of you get trucking now, apart from when you fixed Wolf 359 and Barnard Star.
Yeah, once we've won those stations, then just go trucking mental. But no, both are open. The highest ranking trucker in the top 10 of either or will both receive a mug, and well done to you if you manage that. And congratulations to Trucker Ray again. We will get your mug out to you in the post. We'll hopefully get it posted tomorrow, which means you should have it depending on which country you live in. If you're in the UK, you might have it by the end of the day or by Saturday, with a bit of luck. With a bit of luck. Thank you so much, Flossie.
We've had guessing.
Okay.
Flossie. Now, now you don't get copied on the script of this show, do you?
Yes.
Does Flossie?
Yes.
Or have you glanced at it?
This time, yes.
Oh, you have. Okay, so you know what the theme is.
Yes.
Ah, okay. And do you reckon it was a nice, easy one this week, or are we getting a bit obscure?
I can never work them out, so I wouldn't have known.
Because we've had a few guesses. I'm just trying to read through some of them, and actually they're miles away.
I've got the answer and I don't understand it.
Sanitation engineer type connection so far from Lenin. There's no lyrics on one of them, so it's clearly not the lyrics. Maybe the outro counts, from Samuel L. Bronkovitz. What else we got in here? Laugh My Arse Off from Isonery. No, literally, we've had an absolute dearth of guessing, but we have had a PM from somebody who's actually got the answer already.
No, how?
That, what the skills, clearly awesome skills, and I'm going to say it now. It better not be somebody who's guessed all the rest of them already, apart from 2 weeks ago when I beat you all.
Well, I have to say, I'm looking at it and I haven't got a freaking clue, and I've got the answer.
Now the tunes this week. See, this wasn't us this week either, was it?
Wasn't me.
Oh no, it wasn't us who chose the tunes this week. It was somebody else. I'm going to deny all responsibility for all the music this week.
Was it Dick and Willie?
No, it wasn't them. It was not our guest presenters. We put it out there to the community to say, come up with a theme and come up with all the tunes, and they've got to fit, and I've got to be able to talk about them before the sections. So we've got to have a buck-naked kind of one and a silly one and something to theme. And somebody stepped up and said, I've got this. And so Commander Ramforth, thank you very much indeed for coming up with a theme this week and all of the music and making it properly entertaining and better than the stuff that I choose.
Songs that Ramforth listens to is not the answer.
Now, just because somebody's got it already doesn't mean everybody else shouldn't keep guessing, because they might have got it, but you might hit that little bit more accurately. Because I mean, I know we're after specific wording, but you know they've got the general theme. But keep going, because somebody might get closer.
Okay, sounds good.
Right, okay, so we're all muddled up tonight. So we've had the hot bit, and then we've had the butt-naked bit, and then we've done the flossy bit, which is all backwards and broken. And now, everybody who's been playing in beta has heard that the Galnet News has a voice.
Indeed it does!
But, that Galnet News is a sort of a monotone. It literally just reads the words, doesn't it? If you want to digest the news and poop it out in a different shape and analyse it afterwards as to what you've been eating all week, you need your Galnet News done a different way, don't you?
If you need the news fed to you through the digestive tracts of Mama Bird, then Witherspoon is your Mama Bird.
Oh my God.
Giving it of Galnet News into your lum. Right,
No, this is the long one. This is the longest Galnet News we've ever had. This is 7 minutes and 41 seconds of, oh my God! This is an awesome Galnet News from Commander Witherspoon.
Of course, combined with the spectacular tune preceding it, it's going to be a massive 11 minutes. 15.
Well, we've got time
seconds.
for a break. Quick, go on then.
Yeah.
Do the oh my God, Kaiser Chiefs and Galnet News, and then we're back.
I'm like, totally, oh my God, like, oh my God.
Try it on our budget.
Time on your side that will never end. The most beautiful thing you can ever spend. But you work in a shirt with your name tag on it, drifting apart like a plate tectonic. It don't matter to me, 'cause all I wanted to be was a million miles from here, somewhere more familiar.
That's not Galnet News. That's Galnet News.
Galnet News Digest, 8th of February 3304. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, new Alliance starport commissioned as Pleiades repair effort flounders. Tharg the Mighty strikes Sirius. The Explorer's fishy friend. Lacom backpedals on Type 7 enhancements. New Alliance starport commissioned as Pleiades repair effort flounders. The Alliance campaign to build a new Orbis starport midway between the homeworlds and their outposts in the California Nebula has received overwhelming support, fully achieving its goal before the deadline. Commanders can confidently expect that the new starport will have gold-plated fittings and will be a veritable home from home for visitors on their way to see the Alliance pumpkin patch. By contrast, the work to repair the starports in the Pleiades that have been attacked by the Thargoids is progressing very slowly indeed, with only 2 of the 17 stations, the Oracle and Obsidian Orbital, showing any significant progress towards repair. At the current rate of progress, some of the stations may remain offline for more than 300 years. Reasons for the lack of progress are unclear. It may be lack of publicity, a lack of sympathy for Aegis and its belligerent aims, or a lack of rewards for mercenary commanders. The leaders of the 3 great powers have put out an appeal to independent pilots to help in the rescue and repair effort, but it seems unlikely that it'll have much effect, with all the information about the stricken stations hidden in the most obscure place possible, Galnet. Tharg the Mighty strikes Sirius. In related news, 2 further starports have been attacked by the Thargoids. These newly attacked stations, Bennington's Rest in 24N Percy and Exodus Point in Hyades Sector AB-W B2-2, are both managed by Sirius Incorporated. One is more than a third of the way from the Pleiades to Sol, leading to concerns that the Thargoids may be heading towards the human-inhabited homeworlds. And in a significant change of strategy, the Thargoids have, for the first time, attacked a station with no Aegis presence. 42N Percy, until recently, had an Aegis research base, but it finally shut down today, following a joint initiative from the Black Flag Operations and Cooper Research Associates. The Aegis scientists had already packed their bags and were waiting for a beluga to take them home when the Thargoid battle fleet struck. They've now been left in limbo, as there's no Aegis Research travel officer to organise the evacuation. Has Tharg the Mighty made a terrible tactical mistake? Has he not been keeping up with galactic politics? Or is he confusing Sirius Incorporated with the Sirius Corporation, like everyone else? The Explorer's fishy friend. Carbon will finally have a use for explorers if new formulae discovered by the Pilots Federation boffins are adopted. Many explorers had expressed disquiet following proposals to reduce the amount of niobium, a key component in standard and premium frameshift drive synthesis that could be carried. Now, not only have the proposed new limits on materials been increased, but the formulae for synthesizing FSD boosts have been reworked to reduce the amount of niobium, cadmium and vanadium required, partially replacing these materials with carbon, a very common material that's previously been of little interest to explorers. These two changes, coupled with the proposed engineering changes that may allow some specialized ships to jump in excess of 140 light-years, will significantly improve the lives of those who explore the very outermost fringes of the galaxy, and may open up several previously inaccessible systems. It's believed that a stripy, worm-shaped being who holds a senior role in the Pilots Federation may have been responsible for these changes, which is yet another reason for explorers to like fish. Lakon backpedals on Type 7 enhancements. Lakon Spaceways has discovered serious flaws in its jump drive technology that means it may not, after all, be able to compete with Falcon de Lacy for the longest range exploration ship. Lakon makes two of the best dedicated exploration ships, the Diamondback and Asp Explorers. Despite improvements to the Diamondback Explorer last year, neither ship is currently able to match the Falcon de Lacy Anaconda for sheer jump range, despite otherwise being far better suited for exploration. This has led to a generation of explorers flying huge, empty Anaconda freighters to the most distant corners of the galaxy. It looked for a while as if Lakon would be able to upgrade the frameshift drive on its own mid-range freighter, the Type 7, to match the Anaconda's impressively long legs. But during trials earlier this week, it was found that the larger FSD was putting a dangerous amount of stress on the hull, creating a risk that the entire prototype might disintegrate. Lakon is currently attempting to limit the damage to its reputation by investing considerable sums of money in developing a lightweight alloy for use in the Type 7. However, it seems unlikely that Lakon will be able to match de Lacy for jump range, at least in the foreseeable future. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.
He's a very clever man.
I mean, the whole Lakon expose. I mean, have you been keeping tabs on what Lakon have been up to recently?
Well, no, I got my space carry all tarted up in its finest refinery, and then they came on board and knocked a frickin' wall down. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, but see, your space cow gets to haul more stuff, and your Type 10 gets to shoot more stuff, and your Chieftain, when you get it, is a pew Chieftain tank, and your Type 7 now gets to go that little bit longer and further than it's ever gone before.
Type 7 is, that definitely needed a wee bit of help, because it was one of those awkward trade ships that just kind of, I remember going.
Did you watch Commander Braben and launch his Type 7 off that pad?
No, I didn't.
You didn't watch it? I mean, that launch, and then his SRV getting into orbit with the dummy on it, and then the recovery of the smashed Type 7 down on the planet side in an atmospheric planet which we've never seen before. Well, I mean, that whole launch was.
I think we were live streaming it during the Lave Radio broadcast. So, I think that's right, because I think I remember the stunning shots of the reflective surfaces on the SRV pilot's helmet.
Yeah, and the flat earthers were loving somebody's attached a magic lens to the camera, which is why Australia bends around the corner. You
mean the fisheye lens that doesn't distort anything in the near part of it?
No, only the bit that's through the windscreen, beyond the windscreen, round the windscreen, and past the "Don't Panic" sign. Yeah,
only the large spherical planet that's rotating in front of us. Just that bit that's being affected by the. Don't get me started on these flat earthers. We should push them against the edge and off.
But I mean, watching the anniversary launch of the original launch of the Heavy there was, and watching those 2 rockets come down on their own.
Oh, it was like
It was like watching Thunderbirds. I mean, it was Thunderbird 1, Thunderbird whatever it is, just coming down onto the pads. And I know they hit the sea at 300 meters per second or whatever it is with the last one, but you know, the Of Course I Still Love You didn't die in a horrible fireball explosion.
No, they didn't. Yeah, it is a wonderful time to be in existence, to witness the spectacular things that really do open up the future for the humanity that we know.
But it was only 90 million.
Well,
I don't know. If
two
only
then.
90 million. Like, if I had 90 million, then I'd be as happy as Larry. But in the grand scheme of things, you look at the galactic mega corporations like Sirius Corporation, the Pilots Federation, whatever else. 90 million is the kind of thing you could do in an afternoon flying to 36 Ophiuchi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking a billion. I mean, a billion's a big number. A billion is what Tyron did in bounty hunting for Alvin. That's a big number. But 90 million is, that's a couple of passenger missions.
Yeah, it is. Out to Smeaton.
Exactly. I can do that in an afternoon, you know. That's, you know, it's a python and a bit. And somebody manages to spend a python and a bit, which is to throw away money on launching his SRV into space.
Tell you what, they land better than I did.
I've seen your landings, and well, no, the one on the barge was a bit more like yours. It was lawn dart special.
Missed it and landed in the water.
No, retro thrusters at 300 meters per second straight into the sea.
Yeah, well, it could have been a lot worse, and you know, that's the brave men and women involved that are sitting on a boat near something coming down at that speed, going, "Is that going to hit us?" Then it would be a horrible, horrible mess. Oh, right.
Well, I'm glad that barge is unmanned. Imagine sort of sitting, you know, great big flat barge. They've got these tiny little sort of turrets at one end with some bloke with a couple of levers, pushing the levers, putting it into position, and you see something approaching you at that speed with flames coming out of its arse. And
so the
what
time
goes through your mind?
So Simon for the last pizza meat.
Exactly. Oh fuck! Is that? I'm sorry for the language there, but you know, it's going to be the last thing that comes through your mind. Yeah, but I mean, it just genuinely the stuff that we're doing in space now. You look down at the planet and you look at all the stupid shenanigans going on, and then you look at the kind of silliness where some dude launches a car into space on 3 rockets strapped together.
I know. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's utterly Hutton Truckerish as well.
And speaking of, you know, beautiful things, we're next going to go down and visit the wonderful people in that green room.
All my life, I have dreaded going down there. Actually, it's a quieter green room this week, but yes, for all my life, I dread going down there because, well, we have the long ones where we ask, "What have you been doing?" And then we realise we've opened a can of worms. And then there's the "just shout for the mug if you've got nothing to say," and then they talk lots and have lots to say. Yeah. So we're hoping they've got something great to say, but we've got a tune.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, we do indeed.
Yeah, and it's a Thargoid. Well, the thing is, now, am I right in thinking that there's Thargoids, then there's Thargoids out there? Is Buck naked here, or is he cleared off?
Nope, Buck's here.
Right, Buck, have you signed that paperwork that means you can't talk about there are Thargoids and there are Thargoids?
What are Thargoids?
Well, there's the crashed ones. And then there's the ones flying around eating people. And so we got the Thargolds and the Thargoids.
Sounds a bit War of the Worldish.
And the Thuckers.
Yeah, so there's
you know
the
what
ones
happened back then when they first aired that.
But really quickly, before we go to the green room, did you see the video?
What video?
The bug hunt video.
Don't know what you're talking about.
The one with 3,500 views on YouTube and about Team Hotbox kicking backside on the Thargoids.
NDA. Don't know what you're talking about.
No, you've never seen the Thargoid ever. Anyway, there is a video out there called Bug Hunt, which is done by Aaron Fixter and Team Hotbox and Hotbox Films and Hutton Films, which was featured on Obsidian Ant this week, all about a little bit of retribution from Team Hotbox on the Thargoids, which is a phenomenal 12-14 minute film. I'm not going to say video, it was a film. And congratulations to Mr. Fixter on doing an epic job. He's got a lot of love for that video.
Actually, I did watch that.
You did. And there's
Definitely
also the
enjoyed it.
music video that goes with it over the closing credits by the boarding crew.
But you know, I could still see the little threads that were holding them Thargoid ships up. So
Oh, they
he's
were
gotta
held
work
on
his
string.
special effects a bit, but
Yeah,
it's a good film.
That was a Thunderbird special on string.
Now, who just trying to find it myself so I can put a link in the chat. Someone put a link in, has anyone? Nope.
Has anyone got a link to the Bug Hunt video and the music video? Anyway, we're going to put a link in the chat on that one, but it's an incredible film, and yes, Mr. Fixter, who put the film together for us with Team Hotbox, I mean, those camera sweeps, the positional awareness when he was looking around and looking at the ships, and incredible. But the music video that went with it, he's released a separate video for This Station's on Fire, which was done by the boarding crew, and we're going to put a link up for that as well, and it was incredible. But the boarding crew are coming to Elite Meet.
Wow.
And they're bringing TARS.
Wow.
I've got the link here. There you go.
Thank
And
you
we're
very much.
not going to promise that the boarding crew are going to play at any point during the day at ECM, formerly known as Elite Meet, but they might do. A lot.
Oh, right. Should we let you and do the green one then?
Right, so
There's too
we're
much
fed up
excitement.
talking about
I'm gonna have to
aliens.
go to the
Yeah, I
loo.
know, too much excitement. We're talking about aliens, so Foo Fighters. Let's go with the Foo Fighters. And all my life I've been waiting for stuff like this.
Oh. Yeah.
All my life I've been searching for something. Something never comes, never leads to nothing. Nothing satisfies but getting close, closer to the prize at the end of the road. All night long I dream of the day when it comes around and it's taken away. Leaves me with the feeling that I feel the most. Feel it come to life when I see your ghost. One by one hidden up my sleeve. On and on, I got nothing to hide.